My wife, 3 years, possibly cheated with her boss again. My wife, 30F, and I have been married for 3 years and have been together for 5 years. For the time being, we are based in Colombo, Sri Lanka. My wife's employer is 36 years old, married, and has 2 children. So the narrative begins with her having an affair with her employer while we were still in a relationship with one other. I discovered her going to a hotel room with her employer, which I reported to her. One of my friends works there, and he snapped some pictures of the people. I approached her immediately, and she claimed that I was insane and disputed the accusation. After that, I gave her the images, and she eventually acknowledged that she had cheated. Our relationship had been going on for around 1 year when this occurred. I quickly ended my relationship with her and banned her phone number, social media accounts, and other accounts. However, after 2 weeks, she returned to visit me and begged me to begin our relationship with her. She said that she made a mistake, that she wasn't thinking clearly, and that she was stressed out by her job, but she believes that everyone deserves a second chance. Consequently, I made the mistake of giving her a second opportunity and re-established our connection. However, I established certain ground rules, such as the right to check her phone anytime I wanted, keeping an eye on her, and instructing her to refrain from all chit-chat and phone conversations with her employer unless they were work-related. Everything went well when she consented. We were married in 2019, and everything was fine up to the end of last year's calendar year. My wife received a promotion at work in December of last year, and she has said that she would want to take her supervisor to a meal as a thank you. During our lengthy discussion, she blamed me for her uneasiness, and she said that I should believe her since I had not seen any suspicious conduct since the first instance of infidelity in 2018, and that I should place my faith in her. As a result, she planned the meal at one of the most luxurious hotels in town, where most people go for romantic dinners, proposals, and other special occasions. I also expressed my dissatisfaction with the candlelight supper, saying, "I'm not comfortable with it." She accused me of being full of insecurity once again and assured me that nothing would happen. She took the day off from work on that dinner treat day and went to the salon in the afternoon to have her brows done, as well as a facial treatment. She normally does this before a wedding or other important event, so I was suspicious that anything was wrong at this point, and she chose a dress that was more open and showing, but I didn't get into a big fight over it since she had previously accused me of being insecure on numerous occasions. I asked her to return by 10 p.m. since she was out to supper. When she hadn't returned home by 10 p.m., contact her, but she didn't pick up the phone. I tried to contact her numerous times, but she didn't pick up the phone. She returned at 2 a.m. the next morning. I was enraged and demanded to know why she hadn't answered the phone, what had taken so long, and other such questions in a threatening manner. Her response was reassuring. "Don't stress out, we simply went for a stroll after supper and had a pleasant chat." For a split second, I didn't believe it, but I couldn't do anything to change my mind. As a result, I simply let it drop. My wife informed me that she would be traveling to the Maldives with her employer for a business meeting with a possible customer in January of this year, and that she will be there for 5 days. As soon as I heard this, I went insane and we began fighting. It was at this point that she began to criticize me again, claiming that I was full of insecurities and that I was insane for not having a decent social life. I've been WFH since the epidemic began. She went on a business trip, and for the first 3 days, everything seemed to be well. At the very least, I wasn't worried about what had transpired. However, after the 3rd day, I didn't get any calls from her or couldn't reach her by phone. It informed her that she had left the coverage region. I had completely lost trust in my wife at this time, and I was certain that something was wrong. Upon her return, I inquired as to what had transpired after day 3, and she said that the customer had a private resort on a different island, and he had invited them to stay at the resort. Furthermore, it was said that there is no reception on that island. Asked for further information about the resort and island, she responded by saying she couldn't recall anything since the customer had organized everything, and they had just gotten on a boat and headed there. Sorry for the lengthy lines. I simply wanted to provide the whole backdrop for this discussion. My head is all messed up right now because I have a gut feeling that something is going on, but I don't have any concrete proof to back up my suspicions. Any advice, thoughts, or recommendations would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Edit. Thank you very much to everyone for their advice and recommendations. So I made the decision to file for divorce and went home for 4 days to enjoy some alone time at a beach resort which I frequented before. I wrote her a letter and left it at her house, in which I asked for a divorce and included some information about her employer and her. I gave her 4 days to collect her belongings and look for a new home for herself. And when I return, the first thing I'll do is meet with the attorney. After phoning me around 10 times, I didn't pick up the phone at first, but eventually chose to speak with her since she continued ringing my phone. I'll write a more in-depth article on it shortly. Once again, thank you so much. Update. So the day before yesterday, I took a 1-week leave of absence from work, booked a hotel room for 4 days, and went home with a letter addressed just to her. My letter said that I was aware that you were seeking your boss once again, that I was aware of everything that occurred at the dinner, that I was aware of the 5-day business trip, which I really did not, and that I had made the decision to file for divorce. In addition, I gave her 4 days to collect her belongings and locate a new home for herself. I turned off my phone as soon as I left the house because I didn't want her to disturb me with her incessant phone calls while I was on the road with her. I arrived at the hotel, checked in, and turned on my phone, only to find that I had 13 missed calls and messages waiting for me. I just read through the messages, had a look, and did not respond. She contacted me a few days later, and when I answered the phone, she was weeping and apologizing for what she had done, and she assured me that we could still mend things. Due to exhaustion after a long travel, I was not in the mood to converse, so I requested her to call me again the next day and then hung up. She asked for the address of the hotel where I was staying so she could come and speak with me in person, but I told her I didn't want to see her. She contacted me again yesterday, and we ended up talking for about 2 hours. I approached her and asked her a question. Do you acknowledge that you cheated on your boss? I inquired, and her response was, I can explain everything. Please allow me to meet with you and explain everything in detail. Did you seek your boss on that dinner date? I inquired, and her response was the same as before. This continued for numerous additional things I had asked, and I became enraged and shouted at her, come on, at the very least be honest and answer my fucking questions once in a while. Then she said that everything took place in December, and that she wanted to receive the promotion, so she made a deal with her supervisor. As a result of the promotion, her employer has the opportunity to fuck her once, and she vowed that nothing would happen between 2018 and December of the previous year. Both of them took a day off in December, the day before the dinner date, and fucked for the whole day. Moreover, she said that they had agreed to finish it and not mess up afterward, but that they also unintentionally had sex on their dinner date. And even though the miserable business trip was only supposed to last 2 days, they decided to extend it by 3 days so that they could spend more time together. And she said that she is willing to go to any length to maintain our marriage, even ceasing all communication with her supervisor and quitting her work. She said that she was not attracted to him in any way, and that she was just looking to have a good time. And she said that she was intending to have children this year, and that she wouldn't be able to have fun like that again. So she decided to play a little bit before that, and so on and so forth. And she stated that if I'm upset about her Maldives vacation with her employer, we should all travel to Maldives the next week to straighten things out. It's just a 2-hour inexpensive flight away, and is really near to here. I instantly responded with a new knowing well that if I went on this trip with her, I would most likely change my mind. She has said on several occasions that she is prepared to go to any length to salvage our marriage. In the end, I'm quite certain about my choice to divorce her, yet a part of me still has feelings for her. I know you people are probably furious at me for this since you labeled me a cuckold, a lesbian, a dormant dude, and other derogatory terms, but I truly seeking liked her a lot. The sentiments and affection I felt for her throughout the years have been difficult to remove from my mind.